Hey guys, it's Allison. You guys haven't seen my face here on YouTube for almost 3 weeks, and obviously I have an explanation as to where I've been, but I just thought that I would say thank you guys so much for your support and just your patience during this time, because it's been a hard couple of weeks, and I think that I really needed to take a break, and I'm just so glad that you guys didn't pester me about making videos, and you guys were just so supportive, and I just actually saw my channel growing, which is crazy. But I thank you guys so much for allowing me to take the time that I need to just step away from YouTube and kind of be with myself and my family. So thank you guys for that, even though I haven't really talked about it, and this video is when I'll be talking about everything. But I thought that I would just come on here and say how much I miss you guys, and thank you guys so much for your support. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about the main reason why I've been gone. The reason why I'm a little bit more, I guess, serious is because it is a serious topic. It's a little bit hard to talk about because I'm nervous you guys will, I don't know, some people will just make anything negative out of a video like this. So I'm just praying that you guys will just hear me out. Because it's hard to open up and be vulnerable on camera. It's something that is hard, and even if you don't have to do it on camera, it's just hard to be vulnerable and open up. So just bear with me in this video, but I just wanted to kind of set that tone because the first part of this video will be a little bit more serious, but hopefully I'll be able to inspire you and just kind of give you guys some words of encouragement at the end of this video, so it doesn't end on a sad note. I don't even know how to start this, but the beginning of March, my uncle died, and that is something that even just saying it sometimes still doesn't register to me. And if you guys know anything about me, my family is super close. My family and my extended family are super close. We see each other. If we don't see each other every week, we see each other every other weekend. It's on a rare occasion where we don't see each other for a month. That's just crazy to us because we're just super close, and I just have a lot of aunts and uncles from my mom's side because she has so many brothers and sisters, and we all live in Chicago, so it just makes sense, and we're Filipino, so it all makes sense. But so we're always super close, and so when everything kind of happened, it was kind of a complete shock, and also not a shock, because it was something that he has been battling, and we've been battling for almost 2.5 years. So in that sense, it wasn't a complete shock, but it still was in just the time frame and everything happening so quickly. So just to give you guys, I guess, a little backstory about that, so it's not a sudden thing. And also I just wanted to mention, I'm not going to go into complete details about everything, but just kind of get an idea of where my headspace was at, and pretty much what was happening from my perspective, I guess, because I don't want to speak on obviously everybody else's viewpoints. And also, if I kind of am all over the place, it's because it's the first time I'm really talking about it. I haven't talked about it to anybody. So this is the first time me going through it, so just bear with me again. Yeah, so basically the weekend, it was the last week of February. It was, I think the 28th was when I went home, and that was a Thursday, I'm pretty sure, and I already planned on coming home that weekend, so it was just inevitable that I just went. And so it was actually the weekend where I probably should have went home, and I did. So yeah, my dad picked me up from school that Thursday night, and then he told me that your uncle has 24 to 48 hours to live. And even just hearing that just didn't register to me that. It just was still a shock, but still didn't register to me that was actually true. And even when we got at the hospice, my aunts were there because they've been there the night before, Thursday night. So it just looked like they were all they've been crying all morning, or because I got there at 10 a.m. and that just was, even just walking in, I just knew that it was bad. And I've been talking with my mom for the past couple of days leading up to that Thursday when I went home. So I kind of knew like what was happening to some extent. Obviously I didn't know everything, because she had to go visit my uncle at the hospice, because they didn't want to have him be alone, obviously, with everything that was happening. So I kind of knew to some extent what was happening, but obviously it was hard not being there because I'd only be talking to her for a couple of minutes. So even that was really hard, and I would just get emotional even before going to class. Like, it was just the hardest thing ever. And so I remember knowing to some extent what was happening. I just knew that his condition was getting worse. I'm not going to go into detail, obviously, but his condition was getting worse. And even like reflecting like that day, I just realized like I don't even know how long he would be able to live anyways. So it was just like we were all preparing, I guess, for the worst, which is what the doctor said, which isn't obviously something you want to hear. So I spent all that Friday at hospice, and then I actually had to go home the following Saturday at like 1:30 to be with my sister because my dad wasn't feeling well. So, and obviously he didn't want to drive by himself, so I went with him. And then like even like when I also backtrack, sorry, when we got there at the hospice that Friday, the doctors basically said like, you like call everybody you know, or not like call everybody you know, but like it's the time to say your goodbyes, which was why they all started crying. And then that's kind of like when we came in, my mom and I. So everyone just started coming, like family members started coming when they could. Everybody was frantically calling and everybody was crying. We prayed all that day, different times, and it still got emotional. Mind you, there were obviously some good times that we shared there as we were all together, but it was pretty much just like waiting, which is like the hardest thing ever because you don't know. And so we were all just waiting there. Fast forward, I'm sorry, I'm like all over the place, but fast forward to the next day. I went home around 2 a.m. with my dad, went to bed around that time, and then and then I woke up around almost 8 o'clock and I heard my sister getting ready. So I woke up and then I got a call from my cousin, and I didn't really sorry. Like I said, I'm like all over the place about this because everything just happened so fast. Sometimes it feels like a blur, but I remember waking up, and sometimes I do this where I check my phone, but something told me to check my phone like right away. Like something told me to just check it. And so I did. And I read this text from my cousin, and you know how like when you have your notifications pop up, you kind of already see the message. So I already saw the message, and I just was like in complete shock, and I still don't think it registered to me. And so this text will always be ingrained in my head from now on. And sometimes I don't even want to look at it because it just makes me, I hate reading it. But he basically said that he's gone, and basically he died like a couple of hours after I went to bed. So even my dad telling my sister when she came downstairs and when I came downstairs, I don't think it's fully registered to me what was happening and like what happened. And so even him telling my sister and her crying just got me more emotional, and I think that's when it registered to me that he's actually gone. And so all of that was just, that whole weekend was just emotionally, it was just an emotional weekend. My head was hurting even when we were at the hospice. Like it was just a hard time, as you can imagine. So all of that was just really hard. And then later that Saturday, we all went home, or I went to visit my aunt and uncle because my mom was there. Everybody else was there. They barely got any sleep. Everyone was sleeping. We were talking about arrangements and all that. So the week after, I actually had to miss school for Tuesday and Wednesday. I went to my morning class on Wednesday, but I didn't go to my afternoon because I had to go to the wake. And then obviously Thursday was the funeral, so that's why I had to miss both my classes that day. And so that was just like a really hard, obviously, weekend because that following week was really hard as well, and even that weekend. So you can imagine how much that takes a toll on you. And then we also had family coming into town leading up to the funeral, and then so we had to attend to them. And so this past week, the last of my family actually went back home. So this is the first weekend we actually get to just relax for a while, just because the past couple of weeks have been just like go, go, go. I've obviously been on autopilot and traveling back to school, back to home, like every weekend, which has been really hard, like just the travel distance and just unpacking and repacking. It's just, my life has just been all over the place. And I also got sick at the end of that weekend when the funeral was had, and also the wake. So that kind of was stressful. And then I had to catch up on schoolwork because final exams was literally the week after the wake and the funeral. So that was also stressful. But I do remember when I got back to school, I remember going back to school, and one of my professors actually talked to her in person, and she was just like, how is everything? Because I told her in person that I would have to miss Wednesday's class because of a death in the family. And she was just like, and I actually also had to hand her an assignment that would be due that day that I wouldn't be there to hand in. So it was just hard, and that was like the first time I ever said that. And then I thought I was fine, but I think that there's just certain moments where things just are fine and sometimes they're not. And so I remember the last day of class, which was actually the following week, that week that I actually got back, she asked me how I was doing and how everything is. And she said that she was glad I was back. She's just one of those professors that are just super compassionate, understanding, and I was there for her students. And so that's why I felt comfortable talking to her in person about everything. And so we had to say like our goodbyes because obviously finals were coming up, so I wouldn't be having that class anymore. But she was just like, don't like forget to say bye or whatever like that to all of the students. And so I remember when it was my turn, I remember her hugging me, and just feeling that comfort from her was just the thing that I needed, because I was stressed with school, and then just everything, just being back just was so hard. So I remember her hugging me, and just like, just feeling that comfort just gave me so much reassurance that everything would be okay, and that she was just someone who just gave you unconditional love, and I just needed that so much in that moment. And so I remember just getting emotional, and I was just like crying, and I was just like, this class and you have really strengthened me even in my toughest times, knowing that if I came into this class and I was like bawling and like, was having a hard day, I know that you guys wouldn't judge me, and like you wouldn't judge me, and like just the openness, knowing that yes, I've had some really, really tough days, but like it's okay to come into this class owning it, because I know that there's some hard stuff we talk about. It's my women and gender studies class, knowing that there's some hard stuff we talk about, and it gives me kind of hope that things will get better, and that things are gonna get better, knowing that my situation is not as hard as other people have it in this world. So that kind of gives me some comfort. But and then her holding my hand afterwards, saying that this is an open space for you, and knowing that everybody's here for me, and just all this stuff just gave me so much comfort, especially because obviously I didn't open up to her about every single thing about what happened, but knowing that she could empathize with me and sympathize with me just honestly gave me the comfort and the strength that I needed, that I could move forward. I guess now I'm going to talk about moving forward and where I am now. Everybody in my family is healing at different, we're all healing in our own ways, and I'm glad. I think the silver lining in all of this is that it just made me appreciate having family so close like that, because it's rare that you get to see that. And I'm just so glad that we were able to take that time to, share and reminisce about my uncle, and really just know that we all could comfort each other, even in the tough times. really gave me just that feeling of peace, and knowing that he is with the Lord just also gives us peace as well, knowing that he is safe now and he doesn't have to suffer. But we always want to celebrate who he was. And so for those of you who don't know who my uncle was, he was just a kind, giving, generous person. He was a loving dad and husband, and also a loving brother and an uncle. He was the life of the party. He loved family parties. He would always ask when the next, attraction is, when the next get together is. So he was just a light, and he was always positive through everything that he had to go through for the past almost 2.5 years. He touched people in ways that not many people can, I guess, and he was just a good person. I thought I would just share a little bit about who he was as a person. I thought at the end of this, I would just give you guys some words of encouragement. Even though this is a hard thing to talk about, I still want to be able to encourage you and inspire you, because that's what I try to do in my videos. So I guess the main thing that we've learned as a family from this is to say I love you to your loved ones, say I love you to the people that that care most about you. So because you never know when the last time you'll ever get to say that. So it's always great and comforting to know to say I love you. I always say it to my family and all that, but I think that I think from this you just realize how short life is, and that now is a time to really forgive people from their past mistakes, because you never know when you'll get an opportunity to see them again. So I think that's really important. Also, really being intentional with your acts and your actions, and really speaking life in what you say and do, because you never know, that'll give a long-lasting impact in someone's life. So it's always the best thing to, I guess, really be intentional with your relationships with people, and the value you put in your relationships is so important. And I think that's where I am in my life right now. I'm really just really looking at my group of friends and my group of the people that I surround myself with, and really asking myself who are people in my life that I need to surround myself with, and who are people that really bring out the best in me, and really allow me to grow into the person that I want to be. So that's something that I've been able to reflect on, and to really just value really good quality people. I'd rather have people that are there for me and who are allowing me to grow in the places that I need to be, instead of just having a bunch of friends that are just there for you when it's convenient for them. So I think that's what I'm really working at, is being intentional with my relationships, and really just finding those group of people that I want to surround myself with, and realizing that that's more important than just having a group of people that are just there. So that is something I'll be working on this 2019. And so yeah, hopefully this video gives you some type of explanation as to why I've been gone, and maybe understand where I've been. I haven't said a lot on social media because that is just not my place, and I think that I also want to be able to sit down and talk to you guys about everything, in case you don't follow me on my social media. I actually made a video for my uncle, which just allowed me to have my part be there. Knowing that we could all celebrate him was really great, so I'm proud about that. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna talk about just a little bit my channel moving forward and kind of where I'm at. I'm still gonna be posting every week. Just know that if there are times where I don't post, for that week, just know that I'm still thinking about you, and I'm not gonna stop doing YouTube. I hope you guys didn't think I would stop, but I just wanted to have that time to be with my family, especially because the last couple months have been really hard with a lot of stuff that's been impacting our family. It's been hard, but I guess that's real life. So I guess moving forward, if there are times where I'm not posting as often, just know that I'm really focusing on myself and really making sure that I'm right and that my mental health is, in check. So I just thought I'd put that disclaimer out there just in case, because it made me realize that taking a break is so necessary, because even in the first couple of months of 2019, I felt kind of burned out and felt like I really needed to take a break. And then what pushed me to take a break was obviously what happened in the last couple of weeks. I guess I just want to thank you guys for watching this video, listening to me. And I just want to thank you guys for your support and your patience when the time that I took to take a break. I wasn't going to take a break for that long, but it happened to be that long because I just needed just time to just heal and just really I guess appreciate life again. And so, yeah. Anyways, I thought that I would just come on here and talk about everything. And so thank you guys so much for your support. Again, I love you guys so much. I missed you, but I'm back and I can't wait to post for you guys. And I'll see you guys in next week's video because I'm back, guys. And I can't wait to start putting out more content for you guys. Love you guys so much. And I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.